Oilers move so far today, they've acquired the move on. I appreciate that, Marine. You're the best. All of you tuning in are the best. Might send Jari down. Jari down? I mean, do we want to be burying $5 million in cap space? Avoid for Brady Tkachuk. No. I don't want Brady Tkachuk anywhere near this team. Jari for Skinner. Well, that's not going to happen. Back though. I am kind of a bum. What will they do with them now if they're getting lots of... That's like what I'm curious about. Like, that's what we were just talking about. Well, like, if there's another goalie move coming, what I don't know what that means. I honestly have no idea what that means. So... Marine, they're definitely... A lot of the viewers that call me buns or like to kind of throw shade, they've been here a long time. I promise you, it's all good. Wonder how that will affect goaltending moves. Well, Nolan was just saying that Bob had mentioned that another like move would happen, like goaltending wise. So. Trade Ingram, he's a free agent, so he is free to sign wherever he wants. It's very obvious. I think the Oilers are not bringing him for a bag of pucks and sticks. Yeah, I'd consider you OG, please. You've been here for quite a while.
Out. 1-0.
Wish Austin was the Oilers GM. You don't want me to be a general manager. You don't want me to be a general manager, trust me. I'm too emotional. There are certain players that would have like a bad
2-0.
Trade this guy. We will miss Ingram, obviously.
2-1. 3-1.
A realistic return for Darnell Nurse. Honestly, I don't even know
4-1.
Because the some of the money and term that players are getting on the market is crazy. And it also depends on where he goes, right? If he's willing to go to Boston, then like Mason.
4-2.
Yo, what's going on, Ab? How you doing?
5-2. 6-2. Match point.
Graduated on
6-3. Match point.
My grad tuxedo was tie.
Game, set, and match. Receiver.
Nurse for Hellebuck straight across. I don't think Winnipeg would do that, but I mean, obviously, I would love that. I also don't think Nurse would waive to go to Winnipeg. Do I like rain? I love rain. I love rain. I love thunderstorms. You had a D&D tie for grad. I'm quite the nerd. I love that. That's amazing. How good or bad? Grade 11 was, I think, one of my favorite years ever. Grade 11, I locked in. I was an honor student. It was grade 12 where things kind of derailed, but not because it was difficult, just because I was lazy and I liked doing other things. I liked things other than school when I was in grade I bet everyone loved the suit there, Liam. Who's the ideal goalie target for the Oilers? Well, they just picked up Devin Levi, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what they have up their sleeve. Did I ever ditch class? No, I never smoked weed, but I did ditch class a lot for other reasons. Hey, what's going on, Michael? How you doing? 12 derailed for you as well. It happens to the best of us. Razovic is a Toronto Maple Leaf. That's correct. Yes, we got Devin Levi from Buffalo we got Devin Levi and a 7th round pick for a 3rd rounder. Is what the Oilers did.
One, zero. Two, zero.
Yeah, Bobrovsky in Toronto, 3 times 7. That's a crazy deal for Bobrovsky.
2-1. Two all.
Switched online for the last half. That would have been incredibly difficult. I would not have been able to do it.
3-2. Three all. Four, three.
I mean, we don't really know what Devin Levi is, so like, I'm not really concerned about his save rate. Goal save above expected.
4 all.
24-25, it wasn't great, but he spent this year in the NHL.
5-4.
You gave up basically nothing for him. Who's the last one?
5 all.
Consider Cam Talbot elite. Cam Talbot gave the Oilers a very elite 2016-2017. That 16-17 Cam Talbot year was like unbelievable. It was one of the main reasons why the team made the playoffs.
6-5.
The Oilers give up
Match
Levi
point.
a 3rd round pick.
Game, set, and match server.
Talbot, yeah, exactly. Cam Talbot played 72 games for Edmonton in the 2016-17 season. Devin Dubnyk was never elite on Edmonton. Devin Dubnyk was good, but he was never elite with the Oilers. But they're very... Elite goalies are very hard to find. There's a reason why not many get paid a lot in the NHL. There's not many Hellebucks, Swaymans, Sorokin's, Shesterkins. They're very few and far between. Ben Scriven was elite for 1 game. 59 save shutout against the San Jose Sharks. Curtis Joseph was elite. That's an elite goaltender. I don't know what these trade proposals are. Could I play goalie for Edmonton? No, I'm not a goalie. I am not a goaltender. Listen, Calvin Pickard gave the Oilers a lot more than I thought he would. think it's possible to get Hellebuck? Probably not. I don't think Hellebuck would want to come to Edmonton, and I don't think the Oilers have the assets to give Winnipeg. But we'll be curious to see what happens here with the goaltending situation. Erica was just crashing out like usual. I made 8 saves on Kent Johnston at a club. Can I play goalie for Edmonton? You're in. You're in. I'm signing you. Connor Clifton in Boston, $2.25 million. Clifton going back to the Bruins. Golden Hockey tweeted, Devin Levi's AHL save percentage over the past 3 years, 927, 919. This year he had a 904. According to Bob Stauffer, the advanced analytics are exceptional for Devin Levi in the AHL. So again, this is a very low risk, low cost, potentially high reward deal for Edmonton with Devin. Hey, what's going on, Kahir? Good to see you. Yeah, I think this is totally fine. The Oilers, they got Devin Levi and a 7th rounder for a 3rd rounder. Draft picks after the 1st round, it's usually just throwing a dart at a name and hoping something sticks, so I don't really care about giving up draft picks, especially a 3rd rounder, right? Sebastian Cossa went for a 1st. Devin Levi goes for a 3rd. That's totally fine. Who's Erica? An OG in the chat. They don't go by Erica like with their screen name, but I know who they are. Would I have signed Perry? Seemed like a no-brainer for Edmonton. I think he wanted to go back to LA. I don't know. Corey Perry is not really a fit for Mike Babcock. Sounds like Mike Babcock wants like a fast bottom 6. Corey Perry just doesn't have the boots. He has the smarts, but he doesn't have the boots. In Victoria right now. Very nice. Hey, what's going on, Nita? Good to see you. Happy summer. Happy Canada Day as well. It's Canada Day here in Canada. I know all of you tuning in are not all from Canada, but happy Canada Day to you anyway. Sending all of our love and support. Thank you, Marie. Appreciate that. Might go to a Blue Jays game soon. Do it. Actually, no, you might jinx them. Actually, it doesn't matter. They suck anyways. It doesn't matter if you jinx them. From Newfoundland. Hey, what's going on, Godman? I can get some music in the background. McDavid, I don't know. Maybe he'll do 19.7 million per season. The 97 thing. Pick up Ovi? I don't think Ovi's going. We see stop rage baiting Erica. All right, I'm going to be right back, folks. I got to get some water. We're going to be right back. You guys just have fun hanging out for a little bit.
1-0.
And yeah. You guys just get to hang out in the chair for take a quick water break. Maybe have a quick bite to eat. It'll be like 5 or 10 minutes. If any crazy news happens, I will rush back to my chair.
2-0. 3-0. 4-0. 5-0. 6-0. Match point. Game, set, and match. Server.
time, but they did it. Yes, we have some new Knockout Tour cups. But before we dive into that, let's dive into all the things that they added in this brand new update. Real quick though, before we dive into everything, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario Kart World and Nintendo in general. We are super close to reaching our goal of 400k subscribers. We're only 5k away. You guys are going to want to do that because I have a fun, or maybe even a couple fun Mario Kart videos planned for you guys that I've been working on. So make sure, let's see how many people we can get to like and subscribe on today's video alone. Thank you so much, and let's dive into the update. So we have Drill Rally and Boomerang Rally have been added to Knockout Tour. You can now select these if you have played one of the rallies in Knockout Tour. When you are using photo mode on the pause menu, you can now add stickers. You can add stickers using touch controls or mouse controls as well. Raised the acceleration performance of characters and vehicles that had low acceleration, so kind of some balancing there. Raised the gliding speed of characters that had high speed and that of some other characters and vehicles. Made it so the player can hop right away after being hit by Kamek's magic or bullet bill. So this is awesome. If I'm not mistaken, this is that weird little input lag it does.
One,
right after
zero.
it hits you, it kind of tilts you and prevents you from thinking or anything. I believe that's what's changed there. I could be wrong, but that seems to be a great fix. Adjusted conditions where the players can do a jump boost by shaking the controller and racing into the water. Now this just makes it sound like it's easier to do tricks now on water by just shaking the controller, but adjusted behavior after landing on rivals and made it so the dash time after landing is longer. So if you're bouncing off of another player, you're going to have a bigger
3-0.
This is weird. Made it so that the player can stop the slipstream when braking before the slipstream starts. This is an odd one. So it looks like if someone is trailing you through a slipstream that you've created, you can actually
4-0.
I guess that's what this is saying, so that way they can't get past you, which is strange, but then again, you're slowing down a bit, so that's still going to let you pass you, so I don't know how big of a change it's actually going to be.
4-1.
Adjusted the rate at which players can acquire items from item boxes in races and in Knockout Tour. So that one I'm not quite sure what that means either. Is that trying to say something like you can't bag anymore, which would be a great change, meaning that you can't just sit in a bag and spawn really good items, which a lot of people
5-1.
Maybe that's the example that they're talking about. Once again, that's something that needs to be tested out. Made it so that players can see the super horn a rival is holding.
6-1.
I never even really noticed that. I thought we already could see it, but okay.
Match
sweet.
point.
And added a ramp to the race that heads from Airship Fortress to Bowser's Castle. We're definitely going to check that one out in a second because that's
Game, set, and match server.
adjusted so far, only intermission, at least in this update. And then finally, added support for Thai. You can change the language in system settings, system and language. So yeah, that's pretty much your updates with some also other patches. I will link it down in the description down below in case you want to check out everything that's changed, including those patch notes. But let's look at these Knockout Tour rallies real quick.
You know, I honestly have to
So
give
right
a
off the
huge
bat, we
thank
do
you
have
to
kind of
PlayStation and
new
Xbox
Knockout
because
Tours, and not
these
just a
past
couple.
few days have
We have
just
two
been
new ones that you
magical.
can play today.
Like with
but
all
there's
of
going
your
to be
weird
6
announcements
more.
and all the weird reports coming out, like you have saved me so much time on my birthday. Week because my birthday is this weekend and I got some stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm doing in my personal life, but you have saved me so much time because every morning I wake up there is just some unhinged thing to talk about with either PlayStation or Xbox. Yesterday we talked about the Xbox stuff, and today PlayStation, you are back on the chopping block because I thought this story was fake. I was like, there's no way they read the room and said, hey, now is a good time. Now is a great time to announce this. But they sure as hell did. Brett sent me it this morning. I was like, where's the source? This seems like a rumor or something. And then he was like, no, it's on the PlayStation official blog. And yeah, So thank you guys. Thank you guys for making my job so much easier. Granted, you feel me with a little bit of rage and stuff like that, but people seem to be enjoying these unhinged takes that I've been having recently on all of these stories because they're rooted in reality. A lot of people feel this way, they just don't have an outlet to express it like I do, so I'm able to speak for the people because PlayStation announced something today that just blew my mind. We folks are currently in the last generation when it comes to physical discs for PlayStation because PlayStation has announced that they are ending physical discs in 2028, and I'm not shitting you. So we're going to talk about this today, the ramifications of this, the implications of this. They're also shutting down the PS3 and the Vita store. I mean, those were on life support anyways, but who really cares? But before we get into this, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's take a look. But hey, you know what? We got 2K26 Season 8 with Shaquille O'Neal, so that's good. This morning, physical disc production ending in January of 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. Imagine typing that and thinking, okay, this is gonna go over well. People are going to be fine with this. Now, to be fair, before we get into what is being said, because there are some very funny quotes here, I have definitely softened my taste when it comes to, physical versus digital. I definitely am buying a lot more digital stuff in this era, but really it's a convenience thing for me. You gotta remember, I'm trying to review games and stuff like that, and a lot of times I can get a digital version of a game before I get a physical version. I do still buy physical stuff. The Mortal Kombat collection, I got like the cool collector's edition for like $40 on the Switch too, because it was cheap and like I already bought the game digitally, but I will buy it physically as well if I like really like it and stuff like that. So I'm definitely a lot pickier when it comes to my physical stuff, but I still like to have the option because you have the option of used games. And if we're doing any sort of calculations and we're doing anything, we can clearly see that the PlayStation 6 is not going to have physical media. Point blank, period. Because if you're ending discs and physical production of discs in January of 2026, when the hell do you think the PlayStation 6 is going to come out? It's coming out either right around that or after that. So now we know that the PlayStation 6 is going to be an all-digital system. And we just saw yesterday, Cruisin' Blast on the Nintendo Switch was just randomly removed from the eShop. Now you can't get it. So the only way to get it is through a physical version, which is going to go up in price. Sorry for the little rant there. We're like 4 minutes into the video and we haven't even really gotten into this. There's a nice little PlayStation logo. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This is coming to us from Sid Schumann. Him, thank you. That really impacted how I was going to read this article. Senior Director, Sony Interactive Entertainment Content Communications. Let me scroll down here. As consumer preferences and the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. The transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. It's no shit. Like, why would you even say that? So here's the justification here. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation so that players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether that's at retailers or PlayStation Store. We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. So, one thing that I don't like about this is when we're talking about this. And there's a reason why. Because when you see, like, digital versus physical game sales, it's always kind of skewed. Because you gotta think about, like, how many games only come out digitally speaking. know, there are a lot of games, like, I would say, what, like 80% of indie games, maybe 85, 90% of indie games, probably closer to 90%. And a lot of these slot factory games and stuff like that, they only have a digital version. So when you're looking at those games and you're considering, oh, well, look at all these people buying digital games, it's because there's no other option. Options are a good thing. Whether you are an all-digital person or an all-physical person, an option is a good thing to have because it allows some price parity when it comes to things like this. Maybe the physical version is on sale at a retailer and it's cheaper than the digital version. Maybe you get a used copy of the game. What does this say about the used game market? What does this say for like limited run games and stuff? And like, I don't necessarily care. Like, oh,
Game, set, and match.
That's not my problem. That's something that they need to figure out. But I would rather have more options than less options, you know? And I hate when I hear these sort of things that's just definitive. And like I said, if we're talking about January 2028, there is going to be no physical PS6 media. Point blank, period. Like, this is it for PlayStation. We are done. We are riding off into the sunset. They are ending physical game production, and I'm sure that everyone is happy about this. And did you like this? Who liked this? 299 people like this. So pretty much just a bunch of Sony employees. Let's check out some of the comments here. Don't be a jerk. Don't like this. Really disappointing news. Terrible news. We literally own nothing but licenses. Wow, we're not reading that one. It's always going to happen. Please at least continue to produce Wow, we're not reading that. Wow, we're not reading that one. It's always going to happen. Please at least continue to produce collector's edition. Who the fuck cares about a collector's edition? You just get a bunch of bullshit that you don't care about, a bunch of overpriced plastic shit, and you don't get the actual game. Like, what does it matter? Sad times. I bought every new generation. This is where it ends for me. It'll be a mini PC under my TV. Horrible decision, but what can you expect? I'm not happy about this one bit. This leads more to the not owning side. Not sure where this information is coming from. Like, if people think it's like a April Fool's joke, announcing the same day you're announcing the end of the PS3 and Vita stores is the biggest load I've ever heard. You're putting a finite existence on gaming, subject to the whims and maintenance of a single corporate entity. And it's true. Like, how are you supposed